Township, a city village clerk. I got a question for you clerks. Would you want to be vindicated so that you could prove to your constituents, to your people, that you did nothing wrong on election night? Wouldn't you want to do that? As a clerk, how many of you would want your equipment to be forensically audited and prove that it did nothing wrong on election night? Wouldn't you want to do that? Raise your hands if you'd want to do that. When these clerks say Jocelyn Benson told me I can't do a forensic audit, you tell Jocelyn Benson, you're not my boss. You must prove to us, the people, that you did nothing wrong and your machines did nothing wrong. Doesn't that make sense? Raise your hand. Folks, Senate Majority Leader right now, Mike Shirkey, I want you to pull out your cell phone and I want you to type in this phone number right now. 517 is the area code to Lansing. Prefix to every elected official in the state is 373. His last four digits to his office is 5932. 517-373-5932. If you got it in your phone, call it. Call it right now. Blow up the switchboard, get a voicemail, tell them we, the people, want a forensic audit now!
Christina, come back up here. Christina? She is going to go right with the flow here with what Randy had shared, and I wanted to come back and share something. And so come up, Christina. Remember, at 12:30, we'll have the affidavits.
I wanted to share something. When we hear that there's no evidence of widespread fraud, that's false. That's false. Because it's really insulting when thousands of people, including myself, submitted as sworn affidavits of election corruption that we have witnessed, and we go and let our election and elected officials know, and then to be turned around and told there's no evidence. That's basically saying that our word doesn't matter. That's saying our voice does not matter. If eyewitness testimony isn't considered evidence, then we need to open up the jails in America, because there are so many people sitting in prison right now based on eyewitness testimony. As I've talked to people before, I was the poll challenger at the TCF Center in Detroit. I was there for 37 hours. 37 hours, and I witnessed multiple statutory violations. So then when I turn around and see people in the media write articles mocking us, I feel like they're gaslighting us. Can you imagine witnessing something with your own two eyes and then to have our media go around and call you a liar? You know, our First Amendment declares the freedom of the press. Why do we have freedom of the press? It's so our press can hold our government officials accountable, not protect them, not help cover up their corruption. Our media, in many regards, not everybody, I try to avoid blanket statements, but for the most part, our media has become our number one enemy. Because they have a vested interest, for some reason, in covering up government corruption. When Jocelyn Benson told clerks to delete election data, that's a violation of the law. You're supposed to maintain that information for 22 months. But yet our media didn't seem to care that Jocelyn Benson violated Michigan statute. And it was interesting, I saw a debate between Jocelyn Benson and one of our state senators. And when she was debating him, she was so animated and emotional that signature verification was a better way to establish identity than picture ID. How ridiculous is that? Then she claims the reason why it's better is because someone can get a fake ID. Now, I don't know what kind of circles you travel in, but I don't travel in circles where people get fake IDs. Right. However, is it rational to think that someone would get a fake ID so they can cast one illegal vote? But then a judge ruled against Jocelyn Benson for violating the Administrative Procedures Act by telling clerks to lower the threshold as to which they expect signatures. Now, I thought she claimed that signatures were the best way to establish identity. They're the best way to secure our elections from fraud, with checking signatures. But then she turns around and tells clerks to lower the threshold as to which they